What's going on, guys? Today's a new day. Obviously last night we figured out the issue. We're going to repair that today. We're not going to take the plug out. It's too risky. We've got to jack the engine up and potentially piss about with all the timing chains. I'm not going to faff around with all of that and potentially get metal in the engine where I'm going to have to drill the plug out. So I think what we're going to do is use some proper JB weld. Obviously there's all different types of JB weld, but I got the correct one. So this is water weld. Now you can use virtually any type of JB weld and it'll do the job, but there's certain ones that hold up to a certain pressure. So and this one here is 4,000 psi. So there is no way that this is ever going to give way once it's on and set. And we got ourselves a new rocker cover gasket. Obviously we took the old rocker cover off, so we're making sure that we're going to put it all back together properly rather than just bodge job it like it was, because the rocker cover that was on there was held on with sealant, not even an actual cover, not even a gasket. So we put one of these up this morning. We're going to shove that on, and then we've got some high temperature sealant for the sump plug. The sump. Obviously we took that off as well. Now they're not gasketed; you sealant with those. So I've got some 650 degree water and oil resistant sealant, and then lastly we got new brake pads and discs. Now we only need the fronts on these because the backs weren't changed too long ago, whereas the fronts got a big old lip on them, and it'll probably, at the very least, be a heavy advisory on the MOT, maybe even a fail. So plus, obviously I'm selling this car on, it's not for me to keep. If it was just me, I'd run it until it absolutely needed it changing, but I can't do that. If it was just my car and it was me doing it, chances are I'd probably just bodge most of this, but I'm not keeping this car, I'm selling it on. And will I live with myself, sleep at night, knowing that I sold a potentially bad car? I won't. So let's do it properly. Let's get it for an MOT and fix whatever it needs on an MOT, and then we'll move it on. So you can see all this sludge basically. That's what we need to clean up, get all the surfaces clean, and then we're pretty much ready to fix the plug that's down there. Like I say, brake cleaner, because it dissolves easily, or quickly should I say, and tissue paper to soak up as much as I can. So that bit's done. Engine is pretty much clean. Obviously it's never going to be perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than what it was. So now what I'm going to do is, obviously this is where it was leaking from yesterday, is in this little pocket insert thing here. I'm going to clean this up as best as I can now. Now I need that as squeaky clean as possible so the JB weld does adhere to it correctly. Now once that's all on, the JB weld could take up to an hour for it to cure. So obviously while that's doing, we're going to do the brakes and the other bits. So let's get this cleaned up and then get that put on. So now that that's all cleaned up, I've taken my gloves off now because I want to feel what I'm doing. Obviously with gloves you don't get as much sensation. So I'm going to cut a little bit of this off, knead it together, and then put it around the ring. And I'm going to try and get it all the way around so it seals all the way. Because although there are little holes at the top, that's not to say it's going to happen all the way around. So let's cut a little bit of this off, knead it together, and then we'll wedge it in.
No, I look horrible today.
Like a bloody human. Jeez. There you go, look. So we filled it all in. Obviously it's not going to be the prettiest job, but that's going to hold that water back. Chances are I could probably get away with a quarter of that, but this car is a performance car. It's going to be driven quite hard, so you want to make sure it can withstand the pressure. Now in that pocket there hardly is any pressure. There's a little bit when the engine's on full, but not as much that's going to blow that out. Like I said, this is 4,000 psi. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to crack on doing the brakes and stuff so you can see what I'm doing there. And then hopefully by the time that's all done, that'll be ready. We can fill it out with coolant, see if it still leaks. If not, sweet. Cool. So I've actually never done Peugeot brakes before. So this will be the first. Obviously they're all quite similar, which is fortunate, but yeah, you can see how much of a lip there is on this. Here, there's a massive lip on it, and there just isn't much meat left on these, so they'll probably fail on that lip alone. It's a massive lip. But yeah, let's get these off, get the calipers off, get the discs off, put the new ones on. But before I do that, I'm going to double check the new ones I've got, make sure that they fit. Yeah, they're right size, which is good. Bolt holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. You can just whip the carrier off immediately, but I'm going to take the caliper off itself and then the carrier off separately, just because then it gives me the ability to move this out of the way and then have a look what's going on before, because sometimes it's a bit of a pain in the bottom. So I'm going to whip this off, which feels like a 15 and a 15 at the bottom. It came off a lot nicer than I was expecting. Something's always in the way when you're working on the cars. You know, there's always got to be something in the way. The caliper sliders moving nicely, which is a good thing. It means I'm not having to deal with seized calipers. Yeah, cool. They're just pushbacks. Just move that out of the way quick. God, they're right in there. They are. There we go. Yeah, look at those. Not a lot of meat. There's a little bit of meat on them, but they are low. It's worth changing them, especially for the new owner. Caliper carrier bolts at the back are Torx bits. Big ones as well. Fortunately, I do have them. I have to break out the breaker bar on these because these are wow tight. Thank God for that. Honestly, I didn't even realise that was fucking dangling, because not everything is going to come off easy, especially if it's not been changed in a while. And by the looks of those discs, they haven't been changed in a long time. Yeah, look at the size of that lip on there, man. It's such a fat lip, and it's all cracked at the top. They're so well past due. I'm using a bit of copper slip. Some people fucking say you shouldn't use it. I was taught to use it in college by some people that have been in a motor trade a long, long time. And I trust what they say. Right, new disc. Line out with those little Torx bits that we took off. Perfect. Now, these don't need to be tightened. Don't ever over tighten those, because we'll fall out. Right, I'm going to reassemble the caliper carrier and put the brake pads in, and then catch back up to there, right? Right, so I'm just going to whiz the caliper carrier bolts back up. I'm not going to do them nowhere near as tight as whoever did it before, because that's just fucking ridiculous. That's plenty tight enough. Perfect. Right. Annoyingly, the new brake pads and discs, the new brake pad didn't come with new hardware. So we'll have to clean up our old pad carriers, these bits, and reuse them. Right, they're in. When you've fitted these, just spin your pad, spin your disc, and see if you're hearing it grinding, because sometimes you can put them a little bit too close and then they sit on there and make a horrible noise. There you go. One fresh new brake pads and discs. Nice good meat on the front. Now that that's sized out, I'm going to go whip over and do the other side quickly without you, just because it makes it a little bit easier, if I'm honest. But yeah, hopefully as soon as we've done that, we should be good to go with the engine stuff again. The fun stuff, the dangerous stuff. This side's now done. I'm just going to put the wheel back on. I literally did this side in, I think, less than 10 minutes maybe. But yeah, that one came off really nice and easy. So brakes and that are all done, thankfully. That driver's side was a pain in the ass. Usually the hard side is the passenger side, because you've got to think that's the one that smacks all the potholes and drives against the curb and stuff. But no, the driver's side was. Anyway, I just tested the JB Wad. It's not quite dry yet. I'd like it to be a little bit more firm. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up the rocker cover at the top of the cylinder head and the rocker cover so it mounts correctly. And then just wait a little bit longer until that's set fully, until I'm happy with it at least. So I just got a bit of brake cleaner on the end of this cloth, and I'm just going around the edges and just cleaning up the mating surfaces between the rocker cover and the new gasket, just so it seals properly and don't get any rocker cover leaks and all that sort of shit, which is never fun. So make sure that's nice and clean. Waited a little bit longer, it's probably been, I don't know, maybe another 20 minutes or so. It feels hard enough now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna top the water up, and I want you to see if you can see it coming out. So I'm just gonna top it up, put the camera there so you can see, and then see if it's gonna still come out. I don't think it will. I think it'll be fine, but let's test it and find out. Nothing yet. It was pretty immediate last time, wasn't it, if you remember? What I'm going to do is I'm going to wedge this in and squeeze the bottle to basically put pressure in that system. Been about 15 minutes. I've let it, you know, soak in. I don't fucking know. But anyway, I've let it sit for a little while. I've sat and asked my partner, well, Kirby, to squeeze the bottle, and nothing's coming out the bottom. Not a single drop. So I'm honestly calling that done. So yeah, next steps now is we've already cleaned up the gasket cover. We've already cleaned up the maintenance service. We need to clean the actual rocker cover now, because obviously, bear in mind, that was absolutely milky as fuck as well. So let's go do that quick, and then we can pretty much put it back together. I'm not looking forward to the sump. That was a bastard to get off. I don't know if you can remember, when I first said we got the car, I noticed that there was like pressure blowing out of the top of the oil cap, and that's usually caused by like a blocked PCV valve or PCV pipe. And I just thought I'd check the rocker cover to see if it's blocked, and it's absolutely caked up. No wonder why it wasn't letting the pressure out, but the whole mechanism itself is completely blocked. So I'm gonna try my best to clean that, and then go from there. But yeah, it's a bit of a pig, that is. But that'll stop the pressure within inside the top half of the engine. I really want to blow on it, but I also don't want to get fucking all sorts of manner of shit in my mouth. If you hear that, it's not blocked now. So we're going to put this back on. Oh, that's a bit of a pig to get back on, actually. But I'm just going to use a brush now to clean all of this valve cover over, and then get rid of all the old silicone, because obviously the people that did this job, I don't know, maybe fuck it at night, because it's absolutely everywhere. There we go. One clean valve cover. Now, a lot of people will use different stuff to clean it. Brake cleaning seems the most sensible thing to me. It breaks down the oil, which means it comes off, and it dries really quick, which means there's going to be no cross contamination. This is our new valve cover gasket. I'm just going to break into it, because for whatever reason they're really hard to get into. The little nibs, I don't know if you can see the little nibs on here. I'm pretty sure that side is the bit that goes in the actual cover. Let's take it back over to the engine now, and then fit it. Simple as that. Cool. So before I put the valve cover back on, the sensible thing in my head is to lubricate the cams. Obviously, where I've cleaned it all, it's all dry. And what I don't want to do is obviously start it up for the first time. I just got some old oil. I'm not going to use new oil because we're going to have to flush it anyway. So I'm just going to use old oil quickly, just to lubricate the cams and the rockers, basically. So I'm going to quickly do that, and then we can put the cover on. Let's put the cam cover on. Hopefully this seal doesn't fall out halfway through. That'd be annoying. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of them in, just so it's not going to move around, and then tighten them in the torque sequence that's suggested. Cool, that's that back together. Just going to connect all the pipes up and the sensors and stuff. Now, I'm not too bothered where these coil packs go because it doesn't matter, but I will put the older one back in where it originally came from, which is far left. That's pretty much as I need to get this car started. I do need to put the oil filter on. Now, fortunately, that's drained out quite nicely. Like I said, I left it overnight for it to drain completely, just to get rid of all of that shit old oil. So hopefully there's not a lot left in it. You know, I know this may sound silly, but you'll be amazed at how many times I've done this. But count the bolts that I take off. So I've counted on the sump, there's 16 bolts. So I'm just going to count that I've got all 16. 1, 2, 3, 15, 16. Cool. We haven't lost any. That's a fucking win. I wouldn't want to get all the way down there, clean everything up and realise I need another bolt. I'm going to clean up all the mating surface here now for the sump. So I'm going to clean up all the mating surface here for the sump, and then I'll have to do that underneath the car as well. This is factory sealant. It's a bit of a pig to get off. So I'm going to raise the blade as much of it as I can. So that's the sump cleaned off, ready to go onto the bottom. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to use our own sealant / gasket to put it on. So as long as it's flat, mostly, it'll go on fine. There's obviously there's little cavities and ridges, but it won't leak. It'll be okay. It doesn't have to be absolutely immaculate like some people say. But I'm just going to go down, do the same, but to the bottom of the engine to make sure that's all clean and tidy. Hey, I'm underneath a car, and I'm about to fix this engine. There is still some oil dripping out, which is amazing, because it's been dripping for longer than about 24 hours now. Do you know what I am doing then?
What?
So I've had to take off the sump on this car.
Why?
Because this car's engine had water in it. Alright? Some water in the engine's good, because you need it to cool things. Having water in some parts of the engine is really, really bad. And this engine had a problem with that, and I had to find out where the water was coming from to get into the engine that shouldn't, into the part it shouldn't be in.
And I saw some water was coming through the oil as well.
Yeah, that's it. Water was coming through the oil, so that means there was a big problem.
No.
Cool. Annoyingly, the camera did die while I was down there. I've got obviously a new battery in it now, but sump is clean, or as clean as I can get it. What I'm going to do now is just, again, wipe this over with a bit of cleaner, so it's a nice mating surface, and then apply our new sealant. So as I say, this is our sealant. Screw this on, and then I'm going to cut a tip off because I don't want it to be thick, but I also don't want it to be thin. So you want to go around and in the inside, and I'll probably do a pass as well around the outside, but you need to lay it kind of thick. Man, this is actually at my hand because it's so fucking like thick. You have to squeeze it so hard to get it out, and it's making my hand shake because I'm squeezing so hard. We're going to put this underneath. It's not pretty, but it's going to do the job. I'm going to go underneath the car now and pop it on, and then hopefully it all goes well. Right, this is the bit I'm not looking forward to because there's so many things. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it on straight easily. I mean, it's going to take me a little bit of time to get this done. What I'm going to try and do is get the corners in first. Doesn't that my fucking hood is basically strangling me right now. It really doesn't help. I literally can't breathe at the moment. Fucking hell. Hands cramping up because I've been holding it for so long. Last bolt, but this is the biggest pain in the arse. I haven't tightened any of them up yet. I'm getting them seated and then going to tighten them up after. But yeah, this fucking bolt is a pain in the bum to get out. So they're all on now. I'm just going to go around and make sure that they are all tight enough. Curb's come to save the day with that bracket. Honestly, I was sat here for like 35-40 minutes trying to get that bracket on. I just couldn't. Fortunately, Curb's got littler hands than I do. She's managed to get it on, so kudos to her. We, in theory, dump some old oil in it, start it, see if it holds. I mean, the cornet level still hasn't dropped from when I filled it up 4 or 5 hours ago, maybe. Oh, it looks so pretty. We're pretty much ready to start, so we need to put oil in it. I'm not going to worry about coolant just yet because I'm only going to run it for a couple of minutes, let the oil circulate and then drop it. But I am going to put the old engine oil in. I cleaned it, obviously, because I don't want to put a brand new one in it and be immediately fucked. So I'm going to put the old one in, thread it in, do it up, and then we'll put some oil, put some actual oil in it, and Start it up. Hopefully it don't explode. New old oil filter in. I'm not going to worry about connecting up the airbox or anything. It should still start. I'm going to grab the old oil now. It's about 4.5 litres you need to put in these. So I'll put probably 4 in it and then drop it, see how it goes, blah, blah, blah. Cool. So this is some old engine oil from when I did my Audi. Oil cap on. If I can fucking get it on, Jesus. Let's see if our efforts have paid off. You hear that turbo? So the level of the coolant isn't moving, but it's flowing through now because it's gone pink. Because obviously it was just water in there before. Right, I'm going to turn it off now. Give it a sec, let it cool down, and I'm going to drop that oil out, have a look at the condition of it, and then put the new oil and filter in. Back together. Oh no, I need to do the fucking oil filter, don't I? Idiot. Right, let's do the oil filter quick. On the floor again. But I'm just about to drop the oil out of this car now. And then pretty much ready for a fucking MOT, mate. Electric ratchet again, because probably, one, because it's going to be warm, and two, I don't know, I'm fucking filthy as it is. Who cares now? Oh shit, fucking hell, it's gonna overfill. Why isn't I empty? Oh no, why isn't I empty? Fucking sump plug fell straight into the hole. No, I didn't want to get messy, but now I am. Babe, I need a towel or something like big, something that we just don't care about. That's gonna have to go in the bin. Like bigger. That's somewhat inconvenient. And literally isn't much I can do to that until the car's moved. Oh, anyway, right, let's just carry on. We'll worry about that when we can worry about it. Right, I'm going to take the oil filter back off, put our new one in. Oil looks fine, by the way, just judging from it all over my drive. Why isn't I empty? Oh no, why isn't I empty? Fucking hell, I didn't do it up that tight. New oil filter. Oh. Obviously, good practice is you put old engine oil around the rim and the O-ring of these. Obviously, now it's all over the floor. I have plenty access to that. The car's back together now. The car's running over there. It's fine. The car's not a problem. The car's absolutely fine. We're just dealing with this now. Thank you, honey. Man, after that, I need a fucking beer. But we've got the car back together. She's running behind me now, just getting right up to temperature. At idles, fine, no problem at all. Coolant is not dropping. It's a little above maximum. Little above maximum at the moment, kind of on purpose, because it's going to put added pressure in it to make sure that JB weld holds. The only thing that is not the way I'd want it to is when we give it a little bit of a rev, it kind of drops out a little bit. Give it a little bit of blip on the throttle curb. See what I mean by that? So it kind of it'll go, oh, and then spurts back up. Now, codes suggest that's fuel in bank one. My opinion, no idea. So I have to do some research on that. It could be something silly like an injector, maybe even something I've not plugged in. Could be. I don't know too much about these engines to know specifically what could cause that. On bank one is the original one from when we got it. These three are new. That's original. I don't know if that'll cause that issue. I'll show you our little code reader thing, what we're seeing on it. You know, maybe even you might make sense of it more than I can if you're knowledgeable about cars. So everything's position one. Thermostat heater controls circuit high.
Oh my goodness, I knew something.
Yeah, I'm mechanic. So this is like maybe 4 or 5 days later after the last clip. Obviously for you it's seconds, but for me it's been a fair few days. And mostly because I've been trying to find out the source of, it was really, really lumpy. You'd rev it and the revs would like come down and it would almost stall as the revs were settling, as the RPM were coming back down to idle. It's really weird and I couldn't figure it out. Code read it and it was coming up with P0171 and P0, what was it, Kurt? 0011. And that was 0011 made me panic because that's camshaft position advanced. And I was like, holy fuck, what if the garage that done the timing chain put a tooth out or something like that, which would cause that issues and cause all the lumpiness. And I ordered a new camshaft sensor, put that in, no, still had the same issue. I've even ordered a new injector because it kept saying it was cylinder 1 that was the problem. I got it indoors, I've not fitted it yet. One more go trying to look what it is. The P0171 was saying that the system was running too lean. I've literally torn most of it off. I've taken the airbox off and everything just to see if I can find any like vacuum leaks or something that's not been connected properly. Because obviously, although I disconnected a lot, I didn't actually take off much stuff, like connector-wise, plug-wise, hose-wise. You know, it's only this sort of stuff that I've disconnected and then the rocker cover out. And I know that's all been put on. I've done it myself. Last 2 nights, I've just gone round checking everything. Hoses, clamps, vacuum lines, absolutely everything. I just couldn't find the issue. And it wasn't, honestly, and this is how crazy it is, a combination of ChatGPT and Gemini helped me fix this car. She was like, check everything. Check the MAF sensor, check the map sensor. I was like, okay. I checked the MAF sensor. The map sensor is fine. I even took the solenoid out for the VVT and cleaned that, put it back in, still was happening. And then it wasn't until I took off the airbox and everything and I thought, shit, I can get to the map sensor now, which is the mass air manifold absolute pressure something. Got to that, it was fucking loose. It was just enough to wiggle it, and that was what was throwing up camshaft advanced and system too lean, and making it lumpy and almost stall when it was coming down off the high RPM. I cannot believe it. I've tightened it all up. Codes have disappeared. Engine management lights disappeared. She's finally ready for an MOT. Engine management lights off. Actually, to be fair, I got to sort the headlights out. That's one thing that I'll probably get an advisory for. But she purrs like a kitten now. Give it a little rev curb. And it comes back down to a perfect idle. That's so fucking sick. I'm so excited. I cannot believe this little sensor was just a smidge loose and caused all of my headache for the last 5 days. We saved it. We actually saved the car. I'm so proud of myself. And so many garages just fucking blew this out the water. I said, no, it's fucked. The engine's gone. The engine's not gone at all. The engine's absolutely fucking mint. 75,000 miles, brand new head gasket, brand new timing chain, brand new coil packs, brand new camshaft sensor. It's been like 5-6 days and the coolant levels not dropped an inch. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm gonna pack all this away, put it all back together, and come up with a plan to get this through an MOT. Hopefully the next video you see will be this with 12 months MOT. Again, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. This one was a bit of a fucking mess. Obviously, you can see the absolute catastrophe with the oil. We had to clean that. I got to get oil spill cleaner and all that stuff yet, and hopefully see you with a 4 years MOT. Take it easy.